Arizona is wide enough to hide things, not just things, patterns. And in the last 2 years, those patterns have become harder to ignore. Lock your doors, put on your headphones, because after this video, you'll never see Arizona the same way again. These aren't ancient mysteries. These are recent, 2024 and 2025. Events that happened while you were reading the news, scrolling your feed, living your life. Events that got buried under official explanations that don't explain anything. Events that, when you line them up, form a pattern authorities don't want you to see. 6 stories, 6 places where reality bent just enough to leave marks. Let's start in the desert. Mystery 1. The Superstition Mountains Disappearance. March 2024. The Superstition Mountains east of Phoenix have a reputation. Hikers disappear, not often, but consistently enough that rangers keep detailed logs. In March 2024, a man named Daniel Vasquez, 34, an experienced desert hiker and former search and rescue volunteer, entered the Superstitions for a solo day hike. He filed a trip plan with the ranger station. He carried a GPS tracker, a satellite phone, and enough supplies for 48 hours. He never came back. The GPS tracker stopped transmitting at 3:47 p.m., approximately 6 kilometers into the trail. Search and rescue teams arrived within 12 hours. They followed his route using the GPS data. At the point where the signal ended, they found his backpack, neatly placed on a flat rock. Zippers closed, supplies untouched, phone still inside, fully charged, turned off manually. No footprints leading away from the backpack. Not forward, not back, not to the side. Just the backpack, sitting on the rock, as if he'd carefully set it down and then vanished. Ranger Jason Cole, who led the search, described the scene in his official report. No signs of struggle, no animal tracks, no blood, no disturbed vegetation. The backpack was positioned deliberately, almost staged, and the ground around it showed no evidence of anyone leaving the area. They searched for 5 days, helicopters with thermal imaging, dogs trained to track human scent, ground teams covering a 20-kilometer radius. Nothing. Daniel Vasquez was gone. Here's the detail that didn't make the news. On the satellite phone, still in the backpack, the last attempted call was to his wife. The call didn't go through, but the call log showed a duration of 4 seconds. When his wife was interviewed, she said she never received a call. Her phone showed no missed calls, no voicemails, nothing. But the satellite phone's internal log recorded the call. 4 seconds. To a number that never received it. As if the signal went somewhere else. Ranger Cole included this in his report. It was redacted in the public version. When asked why, the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office said the detail was irrelevant to the investigation. Daniel Vasquez is still missing. The case is still open. But the search was quietly suspended in April 2024. Mystery 2. The Sedona Light Formation. August 2024. Sedona is known for 2 things: red rocks and UFO sightings. Most sightings are drones, planes, or atmospheric phenomena. But on August 14, 2024, something appeared over Cathedral Rock that wasn't any of those things. At 9:23 p.m., witnesses across Sedona reported seeing a formation of lights hovering above Cathedral Rock. Not moving, just hovering. The lights were described as amber-orange, arranged in a perfect equilateral triangle, each light approximately the same size and brightness. Dr. Emily Hurst, an astronomer visiting from the University of Arizona, was in Sedona that night. She had her camera. She filmed the lights for 7 minutes and 18 seconds. The footage shows the triangle hovering, motionless, before slowly ascending vertically and vanishing at an altitude too high to track. Dr. Hurst analyzed the footage frame by frame. She noted several impossibilities. First, the lights showed no propulsion signature, no exhaust, no heat distortion. Second, they maintained perfect geometric spacing throughout the ascent. Third, the acceleration in the final 3 seconds was too fast for any known aircraft. She calculated the vertical velocity at approximately 4,000 kilometers per hour, a speed that would generate a sonic boom. but no one reported hearing anything. She submitted her analysis to the National UFO Reporting Center and the Federal Aviation Administration. The FAA responded that no aircraft were tracked in the area at that time. The Newfork archived the report but didn't investigate further. Dr. Hurst tried to publish her findings. 3 journals rejected it. The reason given was always the same: insufficient data for peer review. But here's the disturbing part. 2 weeks after the sighting, Dr. Hurst was contacted by 2 men claiming to be from the Department of Defense. They requested her original footage. She asked for credentials. They showed military IDs but refused to provide a written request or a case number. When she refused to hand over the footage, they left. She never heard from them again. But a week later, her camera was stolen from her car. The footage, which she had backed up to a cloud server, was deleted remotely. The cloud service provider, when contacted, said the deletion was authorized by the account holder. Dr. Hurst insists she never deleted anything. The footage no longer exists, except in compressed form, uploaded to a private forum before it was deleted. And the lights haven't appeared again. 3.3. The Flagstaff Sound Anomaly. October 2024. On October 9, 2024, residents across Flagstaff reported hearing a sound. Not an explosion, not thunder, a hum. Deep, resonant, vibrating through walls, windows and bodies. It started at 2:14 a.m. and lasted for 11 minutes. The sound was reported from neighborhoods across the city. Coconino County Emergency Services received over 200 calls in the first 10 minutes. The calls described the same thing. A low-frequency hum, almost subsonic, felt more than heard, causing physical discomfort, vibrating sinuses, inner ears, and chest cavities. Dr. Aaron Feld, a seismologist at Northern Arizona University, was one of the people who heard it. He immediately checked the seismic monitors on campus. The monitors, which detect ground vibrations down to 0.1 Hz, showed nothing. No earthquake, no tremor, no underground activity, but the sound was real. Dr. Feld recorded it using a low-frequency microphone. The waveform analysis showed a consistent frequency at 19 Hz, just below the threshold of human hearing, but within the range that causes physical resonance in the human body. The sound was omnidirectional, meaning it didn't come from a single source. It was everywhere at once. Dr. Feld contacted the U.S. Geological Survey and the Air Force. The USGS confirmed no seismic activity. The Air Force stated no military exercises were conducted in the area that night. So where did the sound come from? Dr. Feld proposed one theory: atmospheric resonance. Under certain conditions, electromagnetic activity in the upper atmosphere can generate low-frequency sound waves that propagate downward. But this requires specific ionospheric conditions and usually occurs in polar regions, not Arizona. He checked the atmospheric data. No unusual electromagnetic activity, no ionospheric disturbances. Just a sound that came from nowhere and stopped abruptly after 11 minutes. When Dr. Feld tried to publish his findings, the university administration advised him not to. They said it would generate unnecessary public concern. He complied, but he kept the recording. It's archived at now, and the sound hasn't returned. Mystery 4. The Havasu Canyon GPS failure. January 2025. Havasu Canyon, located within the Havasupai Reservation, is one of the most remote and beautiful places in Arizona. To reach it, you hike 16 kilometers from the trailhead. No roads, no cell service, just wilderness. In January 2025, a group of 5 hikers entered Havasu Canyon with GPS devices and detailed maps. They were experienced. They'd hiked the canyon before, but this time, something went wrong. At approximately 4 p.m., all 5 GPS devices failed simultaneously. Not low battery, not signal loss, complete failure. The screens went blacker. When the hikers tried to restart the devices, they wouldn't power on. All 5 devices, different brands, different models, all dead at the same time. They continued using their paper maps, but as they descended into the canyon, they noticed something strange. The landscape didn't match the maps. The trail they were following, marked clearly on their maps, wasn't where it should be. The creek that was supposed to be on their left was on their right. Rock formations were in the wrong positions. One of the hikers, Sarah Tennant, described it in her written account. It felt like the canyon had flipped. Everything was mirrored. We kept checking the map, checking our compass. The compass worked fine, but the landmarks were wrong. Like we'd entered a reversed version of the canyon. They made camp and waited until morning. When the sun rose, the landscape looked normal again. The trail was back in the correct position. The creek was on the left. The GPS devices powered on without issue, as if nothing had happened. Sarah reported the incident to the Havasupai Tribal Council. They listened but offered no explanation. One elder speaking off the record told her, "The canyon remembers. Sometimes it shows you what was." No official investigation was conducted, but Sarah's account, written and dated, is archived in the hiking forums. And the canyon hasn't shown its mirrored self since. Mystery 5. The Phoenix Freeway Object. March 2025. On March 3, 2025, at 11:47 p.m., a driver on Interstate 10 near Phoenix filmed something that shouldn't exist. A metallic object, roughly cylindrical, hovering approximately 50 meters above the freeway. The object was reflecting streetlights, meaning it had a solid surface. It wasn't transparent. It wasn't a projection. The driver, Marcus Delian, posted the video to social media within minutes. The video showed the object hovering, motionless, for approximately 90 seconds, before accelerating horizontally and vanishing behind a warehouse complex. The video went viral complex. Within 6 hours, it had over 500,000 views, and then it was removed. Marcus received a notification from the platform stating the video violated community guidelines. When he appealed, the platform said the video was removed at the request of a third party citing national security concerns. Marcus re-uploaded the video to multiple platforms. Each time, it was taken down within hours. He contacted local news stations. 2 stations showed interest, but never aired the story. When Marcus asked why, one reporter, speaking anonymously, said they were advised by their station manager not to pursue it. Marcus still has the original video on his phone. It's been analyzed by independent researchers. Dr. Kevin Long, a physicist from Arizona State University, reviewed the footage. He noted that the object's acceleration, measured frame by frame, exceeded 8 Gs, far beyond what any human-piloted craft could withstand. He also noted the object produced no visible exhaust, no heat distortion, and no sound. Dr. Long was careful not to speculate on what the object was. He simply stated, "Based on the footage, this object demonstrates flight characteristics inconsistent with known aircraft. The object hasn't been seen again, but the freeway where it appeared, that stretch of I-10, has had 3 unexplained traffic incidents since March. Vehicles stalling without mechanical cause, all at night, all between 11 p.m. and midnight. Arizona Highway Patrol investigated. They found no common mechanical failures. The vehicles just stopped, and then, after a few minutes, started again." Mystery 6. The Yuma Desert Voice, May 2025. In May 2025, a surveyor working in the desert near Yuma reported hearing a voice. Not distant, not muffled, a voice speaking clearly, in English, coming from the open desert where no one was standing. The surveyor, Thomas Greaves, was alone. He was using a theodolite to map elevation points for a solar farm project. At approximately 3:30 p.m., he heard someone say, "You're not supposed to be here." He looked up. No one won. He scanned the desert in all directions. Flat terrain, visibility for kilometers, no vehicles, no structures, no people, just open desert and the voice. He called out. No response. He waited it. Silence. And then, 10 seconds later, the same voice. "You're not supposed to be here." Thomas recorded a voice memo describing the incident immediately after it happened. He noted the temperature, 41 degrees Celsius, the wind, calm, and the surroundings, completely empty. He also noted that the voice had no echo, no reverberation, as if it was spoken directly into his ear from a source that didn't exist. He packed his equipment and left. When he returned to his truck, he checked his theodolite's internal recordings. The device records ambient sound as part of its environmental data logging. He played back the audio. At 3:30 p.m., the recording captured the voice. Clear. Audible. You're not supposed to be here. Thomas reported the incident to his employer. They documented it but offered no explanation. The solar farm project continued. Thomas refused to return to that section of the desert. He was reassigned. But here's the final impossibility. 3 weeks later, another surveyor, working in the same area, heard the same voice, same words, same tone. The second surveyor, who knew nothing about Thomas's report, described the voice as male, calm, and authoritative. The solar farm company, after the second incident, quietly relocated the survey zone. No official reason was given. The area where the voice was heard remains undeveloped. 6 stories, 6 places where Arizona showed something it wasn't supposed to. A hiker who vanished without footprints, lights that defied physics, a sound that came from nowhere, a canyon that mirrored itself, an object that flew without sound or exhaust, and a voice in the desert that warned people to leave. These aren't folklore. These are documented events from 2024 and 2025, witnesses named, dates recorded, evidence collected and then suppressed, deleted, or archived without explanation. The official response to all of these incidents has been the same: insufficient evidence, ongoing investigation, no further comment. But the evidence exists, the recordings, the GPS logs. They're archived in university databases, personal files, and public forums. They just aren't being investigated. Why? Maybe because the answers don't fit. Maybe because these events suggest that Arizona, beneath its highways and cities and tourist trails, has patterns that don't conform to our understanding of reality. Patterns that authorities would rather ignore than explain. Or maybe it's simpler. Maybe they don't know. And not knowing is more terrifying than any explanation. If you made it this far, thank you. Made it this far. Thank you. Leave a like if any of these stories stayed with you. Tell us which one haunted you most and which Arizona mystery we should investigate next. And remember, these aren't ancient legends. These happened in 2024 and 2025, while you were watching the news, while you were living your life. Arizona was hiding something, and it still is this.